I'm getting a drink. Okay, guys. I told y'all I'd be back. Okay. I was talking about what was happening in Texas. Now, what I was continuing to say is where what Jesus would do, where I was taught, where he would, where he had risen and came out of the tomb, where he was doing the whole, where he was walking around the town, where he had took the bread and turned it into fish and turned the water into wine. He was actually teaching outside. He had had his churches outside, basically. He did not have it. He did not teach within buildings. He had his church outside, and that is what typically witches do. You know, our stuff is very outside. It's very Viking. It's very Native American. It's very Irish. It's very Nordic. It's very, it's it's very enrooted in nature. It's druid. It's mystic. And so that's why I get very annoyed when people don't do their history and do their background into it. And that's why I try to break down and have people understand why I get so ticked off at religion, and especially why they think that, when I've seen a video back when I was in church in 93 where they said witches and satanic people and Luciferians, and they were all going to be the ones enforcing barcodes and the mark of the beast on Christians. And, we were going to be the ones that were going to be killing Christians and inciting evil. Only ones that I see inciting evil and doing the one world religion and trying to bear down and do all this shit is actually Christians. They're the ones that are trying to enforce their one world religion upon us and make it where it's Christianity is the one world religion, where it's controlled by them. It's where they're trying to make y'all are going to be the sheep, whether you want to be the sheep or not. And where they're enforcing where it's going to be the only thing that's going to be in school. Why are they not observing every religion in school, not just Christianity? They're not taking into consideration, Muslim, Tibetan Buddhism. They're not taking in, Kabbalah. They're not taking in, ours. They're not taking in witchcraft. They're not taking in every other belief system other than Christianity. To me, it's bullshit that you two, insane rubber ducky, I think it's bullshit that they're only taking one religion in consideration in Texas, only that they're not taking every belief system. To me, it's like they're going to try to enforce this in every state, and I feel that it shouldn't just be one religion that they're making everybody read from. To me, it's like it's going to incite a war everywhere. To me, I feel that every belief, every color should be appreciated, not just one. To me, I feel every culture, every religion should be appreciated, not just one culture, not just one religion, because to me, Christian makes me think of the Puritans when they first get it, where they first got here and they took over the Native Americans' land, because I have Native American blood and it pisses me off. And it's still happening today. They just, like when all this shit was happening, when Bush, not Bush, but Trump got elected, it's when I was seeing Native American people getting attacked, and then the black people getting attacked, and then, Indian people getting attacked. It's just like, it's ridiculous. And then they're taking out, books that were dealing with, racism that happened years ago. And it's like, if y'all are ashamed of what happened in the past, well, then don't repeat what happened in the past. You know, Stop what's happening right now in the future, make what's right, and be better people. And don't repeat the mistake of your ancestors and do what's right. And I get teary eyed, I get choked up because it irritates the living crap out of me because it's like they could have like How to Kill a Mockingbird, a beautiful book, a beautiful story, and they actually have removed it off the syllabus, and kids need to read this, and they've removed half of the Native American stories off the syllabus for kids to read Native American stories of like, I actually have a lot of these books that I have actually in my collection. And it's just like, I bought them because, if I hear of any other syllabuses being removed, it's like my grandkids are not going to go to public schools because it's just like they're not wanting people to, like, they don't want children from the generations coming up from now and further out to know what horrible things that their ancestors did, like, early out, because they don't want to know of, wow, there was really prejudice. It's like they're gonna know. It's like they can see it happening right freaking now. It's like, and there's been, I watched, and it's really funny. It's literally on YouTube. Me and my kids watch it, and it's different things. There's one called Astoric Guardian, and then there's another one that we watch. We watch spooky different type of videos, and there was this one where they put different clips together, like Slap Tam and different other ones we watch. And there's this one called Depths of Despair, and they were putting together different clips of, like, don't watch these videos alone, like really creepy happenings, right? This lady and her friend were out horseback riding, right? And they went up into the mountains and shit. And they found all these weird, like, recording things out on, like placed meticulously out on the ground, and they were hearing religious recordings coming out of these on the ground, I mind you, in meticulous places. And it was like brainwashing, and it was Christian things coming out of these little things, and they were meticulously placed in an ordin, like in a very weird shape, spread out in the California mountains on government property, I mind you. Dude, if you don't like what I'm saying, you don't have to be here. So I'm gonna hide your message, and you can do report you. Okay. All right. So, if I could find the video and post it up, I would. But to me, there is brainwashing things that are out there and people don't believe it. It's been going on for years because my grandfather was in World War II, and there has been proof of it, like Agent Orange. There has been proof of it because they did that to men that was in World War II. They have done it to men that was in Vietnam. So it's proof that they have brainwashing technology, and they work with, of course, the Christians. And I have been saying it long enough that Christians, for one, if you look at how they dress, the cars they have, the homes they have, if you look at the preachers, how immaculate their suits are, if you look at the buttoneers, I mean, look at the restaurants they eat at. I mean, they don't wear cheap cologne. I mean, When I read the Bible, it even says preachers are supposed to work exceptionally hard. They're supposed to work by the sweat of the brow, and like every preacher I knew growing up, they had two or three jobs. They worked exceptionally hard. Every bit of the money that came into the church, um, it literally went for the church. It went into reconstructing the pews. It went into, we actually had cloth on our pews at the time. It wasn't straight wood. We actually had cushion on our pews. So they went into having someone put new fabric, new cushion on the pews. It also went into making sure that, the toiletries stayed into the bathroom right. Our plumbing was set correctly. We had a daycare in our churches because my grandmother thought she was Elizabeth Taylor. So the churches she went to was like richy bitchy churches. So my grandma was a snob. And so the places she went was like high, what they would call highfalutin churches. So she picked places like that. And so, and the lessons they teach, children don't need, like, to me, I feel that religion needs to be something led for adults. It does not need to be something for children. It does not need to be something for adolescents. And it does not need to be something for teenagers. Because religion is a very mature thing to understand. There, it's a very tough choice to make because sitting there saying, yes, I understand the rights of salvation, I understand that I'm giving my soul over to an entity that did, I can honestly tell y'all, as long as I have studied religion and between witchcraft, as in spirituality, paganism, between that and religion, I have actually had more things go better for me. I've had more prayers answered for me, and they're like, well, that's the devil. No, it's not, because there's more deities, more gods, more goddesses, and to me, they work, and to me, they listen and they're there, and I feel them. And when I was in church, I feel that it was more man created. And why I feel that it was created by man is because they didn't like the way paganism worked for them, because they could not get what they wanted, because they wanted riches, they wanted to be able to mass control man. And the easy way to do that is with scaring man with a belief system by saying, hey, if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. But I have something that I can give you that I know how you won't go to hell. But also, you need to come do this. Oh, can you also give 10% of your money, because it's also, God demands it, because it's also to repair his church, his vessel. Honestly, no. They do that on purpose so they can claim property in his name. So, they could put money in their pocket and do it for in the name of greed. God never wanted nothing. And he even said he didn't want nothing, because if he wanted something, he would have took everything Lucifer was tempting him with before he literally sacrificed himself on the cross. Because Lucifer came to him the night before he got crucified. If anybody studies the crucifixion story, Lucifer came to him the night before he got crucified, and he literally offered him the entire world on a silver platter. And God says, I want not. I want for nothing. So, why would he want 10% from our money if he doesn't want nothing? So it's stupid. All he wants from us is our love, supposedly, our devotion, and our salvation. That's literally all it says in the Bible he wants. But what man wants is our money. So the easy way to demand it and control it is through him. So they create it. Because through everything they put in that Bible in a creative story setting, they put so many things in there to make him sound so scary. Like, if you don't do this, he's going to take your child. If you don't do this, he's going to take your life. If you don't do this, he's going to take your home. If you don't do this, he's going to take your job. You don't do this, he's going to take your food. You don't do this, he's going to take your crop. You don't do this, he's going to take everything. It's like they have every little opening for every story in literally the Old Testament. They have every leverage, but then people are going to go about, what about Revelations? Well, let's see. If you think about it, let's say they had psychics back then. I'm a clairvoyant myself. Okay, so what better way to get your hands, because I hate to tell you, they do have some of our spells in that Bible. I have already told y'all, I do not know how many times, the book of Psalms, as a child growing up, and I do not know why, it was always my favorite book in the Bible, the book of Psalms. And I even have it in my book, my witch's book. It even says the whole book of Psalms is actually curses. The whole book of Psalms is nothing but curses. So, hello. And so, basically, they have our spells in the Bible. So I'm like, okay. So they literally, if they have our spells in the Bible, they have our spell books. They've worked with our own. Native Americans have betrayed their own before. So they easily could have, offered a witch and a psychic so much money to easily, betray somebody and be like, okay, we'll give you so much coin if you, give us, a story and tell us, whatever, you're doing and da 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 da. And so that's probably what happened. So and it does irritate me because a lot of people think it's just a whole bunch of hoopla. And I've explained to people, well, if it's hoopla, then why is there so much truth to it? Why, when you explain it and you start thinking about it, you don't see so many holes in it? And when I've told people, if you think about how much evil that, when I've sat there and I've explained to people, how could a good God create so much bad shit, like pestilence and the plague and vermin and diseases and all these horrible things, yet he's a good God? And I mean, yet he even says in the Bible, it quotes, he's a jealous God. He could be a vengeful God. So he's wrath. He's envious. He's jealous. The only thing he doesn't have in him is lust. He does have some of the seven deadly sins in him, So he could be worse than Lucifer himself at times. So this is why I tell people it's a double-edged sword to follow religion. This is why I say having religion in school is not very good for children, because children are going to actually have more questions than answers, because they cannot answer questions very well. I actually had more questions growing up as a child dealing with the Bible than anything. And when I went to adults with questions dealing with the Bible, they could not answer me. This is why they do not need to have little children reading the Bible and trying to force feed it to them on a daily basis and trying to make them digest something that they don't really want to. They need to just let them be children for the love of God and just allow them to just, be kids and quit trying to make them be something that they're not. I mean, because honestly, it's like they're trying to make them be something other than, children. I mean, it's bad enough we have a president that's in the office that is racist in hell, that is gayer than shit, that won't admit he's gay. Clearly, he's a fag. And I have no problem with it because I love gay people. But my problem is he's hiding it. It's like, bitch, come out the goddamn closet. You know you're a fag. Everybody knows you're gay, bitch. Go put on some high heels and some pink lipstick or red lipstick and get it the fuck over with. It's like, oh my God, quit hating gay people and quit hating everybody across the rainbow. You fired half your goddamn staff. It's like, how, it's pretty bad. Everybody has this motherfucker still employed, yet he fired literally half his staff. He's gonna be bankrupt and he's stealing all y'all's money, yet y'all are okay with it, all you idiots that voted for him. And I'm not making this video to rant about him, but it's just like, ugh. And then, let alone, I hate my governor because he keeps making the worst mistakes after worst mistakes, because this stupid approval of the Bible reading in Texas is Governor Abbott's fault. If I could whoop his ass, I would. He is the worst governor ever. If we could get Jasmine Crockett as our governor, I would love her as our governor. We need her as our governor. We need someone with actual justice in their mind, someone that is not crooked. And I'm making a video, baby. And, huh? No, she didn't come in here yet. Can you turn on my light? Thank you.
Oh yeah, I forgot to take another seat.
Okay. And my other thing, my rant is, there's like a lot of illegal things that happen that our governor doesn't care about. All he cares about is things that he can allow to happen. And there's so much bullcrap that just annoys me. And I got stuck in Texas. I don't like being here. And it's like I have a lot of injuries. I can't really, like, YouTube is the only thing I can do as work, and doing the tarot cards, doing the unboxings, things like that. I want to try to get into voice acting. I could throw my voice differently. I could do it higher, lower. I could do different type of voices and stuff. So that may be an avenue I might try to do, is voice acting. So y'all might hear me in different avenues, maybe. I might try it. Yes, my hair is multicolored. I am definitely different nationality. Um, but my thing is I'm worried about the kids. Because the kids nowadays growing up, like in the area I live at, they're pains in the asses. They don't have good parents. Let me turn off that light, because that light is throwing some woohoo. Like the kids where I live, I mean, they got a law out here now that these kids can be out to almost midnight no matter how old they are, and their parents do not give a shit. Like, if I call the cops out here and, like, say there's a 10-year-old outside, the parent really won't get in trouble. Now, say if it would have been me back in like the early 2000s and I was 16 outside and my mom called the cops, oh, my ass would have been in juvie. I would have been in juvie so quick, my head would have been swimming. Oh, my ass would have been in juvie. And my mom would have been hit with a fine because my ass would have been out past curfew. And it's like these kids out here now, they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. And I'm like, and their parents ain't getting in trouble for this shit. I mean, there's this one chick, her name's Ashton, where I live. And she was attacking me, verbally calling me like all this shit, fat bitch and all this shit, because I was voicing my opinion in the HOA where I live. And that's what you're supposed to do. You know, when you have things like that, you're supposed to be able to vent and everything else. Well, there's been people driving around recklessly, and there's kids where we live. And I'm like, okay. And I'm trying to be a good, neighbor and look out for the kids. I'm not trying to be a Karen. I don't want to see a dead kid laying out in front of my house. I have two kids of my own. I mean, I am a good mom. My kids have never been in gangs. My kids have never been in trouble. My kids have never ran the streets. And like I said, I can say that with pride in my chest, and I can say that with my chest puffed out. My kids are not troublemakers and never have gotten in trouble. My oldest son barely, he got married. It's going to be his first year anniversary this year, and he's 27. And my youngest is 24. Going on yeah, he's gonna be 24 this year. Yeah, I think 24. Yeah, I have diabetes. Work with me. My memory's like, what is memory? Yeah, 27, 26, 25. Yeah, he's gonna be 24. Yeah, okay. Um, and she got crunk with me because, like, I was saying, I said the adults would, as they keep driving recklessly out here, someone needed to crack them in the head with the metal pipe. Because it's like, seriously, it's like, honest to God, if you hit a kid, you deserve to get cracked in the head with a metal pipe. It's like, serious to God, if someone ran over my kid, I'd beat the shit out of them. But see, the thing is, you cannot verbalize your emotions correctly in text. Because when you're texting, like over, say, Facebook or text message or Instagram message or something, you can't say it the way you want to say it to where it sounds correct and you don't sound like you're being a bitch or you're being heinous. So she probably was taking it like I was being. I mean, she got me to the point I was being. She got me pissed, and I started being fucking rude to her. I'm like, oh hell no, because she was coming at me, and I was at first trying to be nice to her. I was like, nah, fuck you, ho. Especially when she brought my son into it, she started calling me rude. Like, when she brought my son into it is when the gloves came off, and I was like, nah, fuck you, bitch. Nah, fuck you, especially with the name Ashton. And when I was started calling her Ash, and then she's like, "Call me Ashton, or don't even say my name." I'm like, "Oh my god, you fucking immature little bitch, grow up." I'm like, "Your name ain't even really that important." I'm like, "Get over yourself. You fucking teeny bopper ass little bitch." I'm like, "Please, you ain't nothing. You ain't nobody." It's like you ain't never gonna be nobody. I mean, and the bad thing is, and she said I was the evil bitch. She is like 20 something years old and beat the shit out of like a fucking 6-year old in Colleen. 40 fucking times or 50 times beat this child on the ass. And she calls me evil? I have never put my hands on someone else's kid. Ever. As a teacher. And they wonder why I have problems with Texas. Yeah, school issues. Yeah, I have a lot of problem with school people. But yeah, this is the things that we all need to voice up about. And I don't know how a lot of people feel about this, but it's something everybody does need to think about, because I feel that culture and other people's beliefs do need to be respected, do need to be heard. And I think culture appreciation is something that everybody should be more aware of, because I think all cultures, like I said, earlier, all cultures are beautiful. If you take everything out of the equation, the world is going to be boring. And like what Trump's trying to do, it's going to make the world drab. And like when I was little and I told my teacher, she's like, Tabitha, you have the strangest way at looking at the world, but I admire it. Because she even asked me, she goes, Tabitha, because at first they thought I was racist. And she goes, Tab, she goes, do you actually like, other colored kids? I said, I wouldn't like the world all white. I said, I like the world in a full color spectrum. I said, because I wouldn't know how to see the world any other way. I said, it's like how I like seeing my box of crayons. I said, if I saw a box of crayons all white, I'd start crying. I said, I couldn't color my picture all white. I said, I like coloring my picture full of vibrant colors. And it's true. It's like you wouldn't want your picture being solid white. You want it to have color. You want it to pop off the piece of paper. You want it to have life. You want it to have, you know you want it to literally like look like it's alive and it's breathing and it's going to pop off the paper, and it's going to jump up like a bird and sit on your arm, or jump off the paper and romp around in your room like a live horse or something, or get on your wall like a fireplace, or be in your room like a big new bedroom or something. I mean, to me, that's how I see color, and that's how I see culture. You take all that away from us. To me, I feel the world's gonna go back so much. We're gonna be back like in the dark ages, and it's like we are gonna go so much further back in time. It's gonna set us so far behind, and that's people like Trump and Bush and people even like Ted Nugent. Y'all don't even understand. Like the guy that sings "Cat Scratch Fever." Um, he made a horrible post about Obama. And that's another thing. He said that Obama did not care about his country, that only Trump did, and that yeah, he made a very disparaging remark about our last president, uh Trump, not Obama. So if anybody is a fan of Mr. Nugent, I advise y'all to change y'all's mind, because he put down our late one of our great presidents, President Obama. And to me, that's inciting violence against a late president. I call him a late president because he ain't our president anymore. But to me, I would love to have him run again if it was possible, but I know he can't. Hello, Shade. Um, so, but yeah, I wanted to share that with y'all too. He's up there with Kid Rock. So he shared that just to like literally a few days before 4th of July. I'm from Texas actually. That's why I was talking about Texas, because this is affecting where I live. Um, I don't have kids in school currently, but my children are thinking about having children. So that's why it's a stressful situation for me, because I worry that my grandchildren may have to face this horror of maybe one day going to school and have to be forced to deal with religious scriptures every day when they go to school unless something's done about it. So that's why I'm concerned about it. Oh, you're from India? That's cool. Nice. Nice to meet you. I actually think India is very beautiful. I've never been, but I've watched a lot of movies dealing with India. I love Bollywood stuff. I think Buddhism is a beautiful spiritualism. I love it. I love everything about Buddha. Um, no, it's not. Well, I from what I've seen in movies, from the movies that they shot, it was beautiful. I know it's hot and deserty, but where I live in Texas is very hot, so I guess that's it's something I would probably be like, yeah, no. I could understand why you say that. I feel the same way about very, very dirty. Ah, yeah, I could understand that. I could understand that. Is your name Zane? Political problem. Ah, okay. Sahid. So your name's Sahid? Cool. I've had a lot of Indian friends in El Paso, where I used to live over there. Military family, had to move around a lot. My grandpa being military, we lived on a lot of military bases, hence Texas. And um, my grandpa was Army, my grandma was Navy, and my dad was Army. I am 44 right now. I'm gonna be 45. I am an old lady. Stressed out about a lot of stuff and just hoping to make a difference. Why are you so shocked? Do I look older? Yeah, I'm a granny. Well, I'm a cat grandma. I'm not a human grandma yet, per se. Um, I'm an aunt. I am a cousin. I'm a mom. I'm a cat grandma. I'm a mom grandma. Well, no, I'm a mom. I'm a cat mom. I'm a human mom. What else? I'm trying to think all my titles. Let's see. I'm a mom, a wife, human grandma for me. No, I'm not a human. Oh, you're saying I'm your grandma? I'm not taking applications right now because my daughter would get pissed because she's the one that's wanting to make me a grandma for her kiddos. So I would have to politely say no. My daughter would have a fit because she's supposed to give me grandchildren, so I would have to say no. So yeah, I would either have to say you would have to be some type of other family member, not a grandson. Maybe a son. And once I get to know you better, or a friend. Yeah. My daughter, yeah, she really wants to have she wants to have babies. She's having baby fever. Yeah, she's having baby fever. They all live with me, my kiddos and stuff, because we have a pretty big house that we're renting. So they all live with us because my husband went to work not too long ago, and my son's fixing it. My oldest son is fixing to come home from work, and then gonna hang out, and then I got to go to bed in a little bit. It's getting to be grandma's bedtime. But yeah, I was just making the video dealing with, my concerns for my future grandchildren, and just concerned for the kids here in Texas because I love children anyway. Um, I just love kids, just period. And I just don't want them having general stress that I feel that they don't need at a young age, because it's like they got to go to school and learn a lot of stuff as is, because school's stressful as is, because you got to go and you're leaving the comfort of your home as a young child. That's anxiety enough as a kid, especially in America. Okay? And you get there and you're around a bunch of loud, noisy kids, and first impressions are everything. Okay. I'll tell you about the school situation. Um, our schools in elementary, depending, well, Texas schools, most our elementaries, our first areas of school are pretty big. So it's pretty stressful when you first get to school as a child because they're pretty big. We start off probably depending with 4 or 5 teachers. So that's pretty stressful as is too. And um we learn stuff like music, we learn math, we learn dance sometimes, we have PE, which that's physical, what do they call it? Physical education. I should know what that is. That's Tabitha. We have not had marijuana today. Not yet. I take marijuana, so you'll have to forgive me because it helps me with a lot of stuff. So I take marijuana. My brain sometimes drifts when I take it. Um, and then with PE, physical education, we have uh, health ed, which is sometimes with PE, which if they still have health class, they teach you your basic necessities, which they teach you about your heart, and they teach you about your liver. They teach you sometimes your basic stuff, which this is what they taught me in El Paso. I don't know if they do it here on Central Texas side where I live, but on that side of Texas, they were a little bit more proactive. Where I lived, they were very pro conscious on teaching us a lot about that kind of stuff. And then when we started going higher up, then we started getting an extra teacher, because typically we would have 12 teachers by the time we got up to middle school. And then when we get to high school, we always had 12 teachers, unless we were, like, say, one of the smarter kids. And if we were one of the smarter kids, then we would have anywhere from 13 to 16 teachers. Now, why we would have 13 to 16 teachers? Because we would get extra classes. And extra classes would typically in Texas, that would mean you would have like extra math, extra history, extra English, um, extra writing classes. Sometimes you would have, uh, like, say, if you're excelling in your theater arts classes, you would have extra theater arts classes. Uh, Ugo, Hindi, English, Math, Physical Science, and Geography. These are we learn in it. Yeah, we have some of that. Yeah. Um, we used to have home ec too, where they would teach. Like when I went to Colorado, that was one thing because I was wanting to take home ec, where they teach you how to cook. They teach you how to sew. They teach you, like, basically like a homely girl. They teach you things like that. And then I took blacksmithing, which that was really fun. I was one of the only girls at the time in the 90s, at that time in Colorado Springs. It was like about 96 at the time. There was not too many girls at the time, at that school that I was at, that took blacksmithing. So it was kind of like a, oh my god, that's so cool, that's so rad, she's so metal. So like it was like heavy metal, like rock and roll. So yeah, I was like one of the first chicks that took it. So everyone thought it was really cool. And then I took wood shop, and then I also took, band, orchestra, and choir. So I wanted to try them all out. And then I took ROTC once I got to, like, my last year of middle school, going almost up into high school. And then I was supposed to stay in it in high school, but I really wasn't being serious about it because I was pregnant with my son in high school. So I wasn't really focusing much on nothing in high school because my brain was kind of like, am I pregnant? How am I going to tell this to my mom? I want to finish school. Shit, how am I going to do this? I need to figure out, how am I going to figure out my life? How am I going to put this? I mean, I had a lot going on. And see, that's what people don't understand. Kids have got so much things going on in their mind while they're going to school. They need to let them just figure out school. School is hard enough without adding any more added anxiety to it. And that's why I said adding religion into the mix is too much. And I feel that it needs to be taken off and it needs to just not happen, because it's just like adding it there is like, it's a killjoy. Because to me, it's something that it needs to be, look, it's here if you want it. If you want to ask questions, here you go. And it's like a counselor. If you're curious about it, here you go, bam. It's like, you don't have to try too hard. If you're being a try hard, it's like, what's in it for you? Why are you trying so hard, guys? It's like a drug dealer trying to push his drugs on you. What's in it for you? And it's like, seriously, why are they trying so hard? Why? I mean, it's just like, I've read in the Bible about the rewards and awards and all this shit, but honestly, they what I've also read, they don't matter in heaven anyway. It's like, we don't have currency in heaven. We're not going to be hungry, we're not going to be tired, we're not going to need anything, we're not going to want anything. All our desires are going to be met. So why do you care about my salvation, her salvation, their salvation? Why do y'all care? Let us live our life. It's like, our lives should not bother you. It's like, if what we're doing is making you want to be naughty, no, that means it's you that's doing it. What we're doing has no effect on you. That's all you, baby. Don't be blaming us because you're having Iwanas. You need to put that blame where it belongs. I'm tired of people being like, well, I seen you out grinding on somebody and it made me horny and it made me want to go have sex. It's like, no, that is because you were lonely and you were horny and I had somebody, and guess what? You were a third wheel and you couldn't get nobody, and that's what that's called. You're pissed because I got lucky and you didn't. That's all it is. And I'm tired of people not calling it what it is. They're third wheels. It's like, no, y'all need to understand that there's going to be temptations put in front of you. It's called a test. God wants you to be tested to see if you can withstand it, because you need to be see if you're worthy of his gift of salvation. If you're not worthy of his gift of salvation or the rewards that you're going to reap in heaven, then you don't deserve them. We do not have to put up with the bullshit that y'all are doing. Forcing it on us? No, God said he does not want it forced upon us, because that is what the devil has to do. He has to force his shit on us. So what y'all are actually doing, y'all are doing exactly what he does. So y'all are literally being just like Lucifer, no better. I actually think the state of Texas needs to be sued for what they're doing. If someone in their right mind would actually help me find a lawyer, I would be more than glad to sue Governor Abbott for allowing this to happen. I want to sue the state of Texas for a lot of the shit that's been happening. I want to sue them, for one, for allowing religion to be passed in the schools. I want to sue them for the weed laws that have been so damn hard. I want to sue them for the alcohol laws, for allowing them to be less strict. I want to sue them for the gun laws for being so, like, not strict. I want to sue them on the other laws for the vape stores, because they're not actually investigating the actual other vape stores that they need to be looking into, because I can actually tell them when to look, go look, and where to actually investigate. And they could actually find that some of the top selling vape stores are actually selling illegal shit in other places. And yeah, that's why they're the top selling vape stores right now. And that's why one of my favorite vape shops is actually out of business, because they were honest. While some of these other vape stores that are top sellers are still selling Whippets, Hulks, they're selling shit that is totally like Kratom. They're selling illegal shit that actually is dangerous, that is not even supposed to be sold. And I'm not even fucking joking. Like, bad crap. So that's what I'm saying. I need a lawyer. Like, if anybody would literally help a girl out. Like, one that ain't scared, that ain't chicken, that would be, like, multi-level, that knows their shit, that is good lawyer. I get me some serious bread on this, because I am dead serious about suing. I am not even joking. Because there's like so much crappy shit that's going on that's illegal, that's not even funny. There's so much there's so much crooked shit that's going on here that is not even funny. Not even funny. But I'm gonna end it here. I just wanted to let you know, spread the news, because I don't know if people's pain. It was actually even on the news that they did this. So I know there's probably people excited about this, but A lot of people need to pay attention to this because I don't think it's right, and I think a lot of people need to voice their opinions about this because I don't think it should be allowed. I really don't. Y'all have a good night. Y'all stay blessed and y'all stay safe. And this is your friendly neighborhood witch saying, ah! I hope y'all have a wickedly blessed night.